Under the lights, secrets are revealed, hearts are tested, and moments that change everything are born. Heartland Season 19. Episode 6 isn't just another chapter, it's the moment where love, courage, and second chances meet beneath the glow of the arena. Fans hold on tight because the Bartlett-Fleming family is stepping into the spotlight, and nothing will ever be the same. For almost 2 decades, Heartland has been more than a TV show. It's been a journey, one that's shown us the beauty of life on the ranch, the power of family, and the quiet strength that grows after heartbreak. From Amy Fleming's first days as a gifted horse whisperer to the deep roots of the Bartlett family legacy, Heartland has become a story that feels like home. Now, Season 19 continues that tradition, blending emotion, challenge, and hope. And Episode 6, Under the Lights, promises to bring all of that and more. The title alone sparks curiosity. Under the Lights, it sounds like something big is coming, doesn't it? Maybe a local rodeo, a big event at the ranch, or a night that changes everything for Amy and her family. The lights could mean celebration or pressure. They could shine on victory or on a truth that's been waiting to come out. This episode feels like it's going to test each character in a new way. For Amy, it might be about proving something to herself, or maybe helping someone else find their way, the way she always does. There's always a moment in Heartland when Amy is caught between her love for horses and her love for the people around her. This time, it seems that both worlds will meet under those glowing lights. Then there's Jack, the heart and wisdom of Heartland. His quiet strength has guided the family through every storm, but recently, we've seen him reflect more deeply on what the future holds. Could Under the Lights show him realizing that the next generation is ready to take the reins? Maybe it's time for him to step back a little, or to remind everyone what being part of this family truly means. Lou, as always, carries the weight of balancing her dreams and her responsibilities. Running the ranch, being a mother, and chasing her ambitions hasn't been easy. Maybe this episode will give her a chance to breathe, or maybe it will put her in the middle of a decision that could change her path. And while we don't yet know all the details, the title and early hints suggest that this episode will have a big event, something exciting, filled with energy, possibly taking place at night, where everyone gathers together. These are the moments Heartland fans love most. The feeling of community, the sound of the crowd, and the sparkle of light against the dark Alberta sky. But under all the excitement, Heartland never forgets what it's really about: connection. Between people, between horses, between the land and the heart. Every episode finds a way to remind us that healing isn't just about moving on, it's about holding on to what matters and learning to let go of what does. End single quotes. As Season 19 reaches its halfway point, Episode 6 could be a turning point, not just for the storylines, but for the characters themselves. Under the Lights, we might see old wounds heal, new dreams take shape, and hearts rediscover what they've been missing. Because that's what Heartland has always done best. It shines light on the quiet, emotional truths we all feel but rarely say out loud. So as we look ahead to this new episode, one thing's for sure: the lights won't just shine on the rodeo grounds, they'll shine on every hidden hope and fear the Heartland family carries. And when those lights fade, nothing will ever look quite the same again. There's something special about the way light changes everything. Under the glow of a single bulb, a quiet barn feels alive. Under the shine of arena lights, fear turns into courage. And under the stars, even the heaviest hearts can find peace. Under the Lights, that's the title of Heartland's upcoming episode, and it already tells a story before a single scene begins. The title feels simple, but it's layered with meaning. On the surface, it hints at a big event, maybe a night rodeo, a competition, or a gathering that brings the Heartland family together. But if you've watched this show long enough, you know Heartland's titles are never just about what we see. They're about what we feel. Under the Lights could mean being seen when you'd rather hide. It could mean facing the truth when it's easier to stay in the shadows. Or it could mean finding the courage to shine even when the world feels too heavy. For Amy, being under the lights might not mean stepping into a spotlight. It could mean helping someone else find theirs. She's always been more comfortable guiding others, whether it's a horse struggling with fear or a person learning to trust again. Maybe this episode will push her to realize that she too deserves to stand where everyone can see her strength. The lights could also symbolize the pressure that comes with growth. For Lou, that pressure never really fades. She's been balancing family, work, and expectations for years. Maybe Under the Lights is about her realizing that she can't do everything perfectly, that sometimes being strong means asking for help. And then there's Jack. For him, the lights could bring memories of old rodeo days, times when he was the one in the arena, not watching from the stands. Maybe this episode will make him reflect on how far the family has come and how much has changed since those early days. There's always a quiet wisdom in Jack's scenes, a sense that even when things seem uncertain, the ranch will stand, and the family will find a way through. Beyond the characters, the title paints a visual picture. Imagine the ranch at night, the golden light from the barn windows, the soft sound of horses moving in their stalls, the cool air filled with the smell of hay and dust. These are the moments Heartland captures best. The lights don't just brighten the scene, they tell us where the heart of the story lives. Under the Lights could also mark a shift in tone for season 19. After years of rebuilding, of healing from loss and learning to move forward, this might be the moment when hope starts to shine brighter. It's not about forgetting the past, it's about realizing that light and darkness can exist together, and that both are part of life on Heartland Ranch. In a way, the title speaks directly to the audience too. We've all had our Under the Lights moments, those times when everything we've worked for is finally put to the test. Maybe that's why Heartland connects so deeply with people. It doesn't just tell stories about horses and family. It tells stories about us, about finding grace, forgiveness, and strength when the world is watching. So when episode 6 arrives and those arena lights flicker on, we won't just be watching another event at Heartland. We'll be stepping into a moment where the past meets the future, where the lessons learned in the dark finally shine in the light. Before we step under the lights, we need to remember where the shadows came from. The last episode of Heartland wasn't loud or flashy, it was honest. It reminded us that life on the ranch is built not just on hard work and heart, but also on moments that test our strength. Episode 5 carried that quiet kind of emotion that stays with you long after the credits roll. Amy continued to do what she does best, healing, guiding, and understanding horses in a way no one else can. But this time, there was something deeper behind her calm. You could see it in her eyes, a mix of reflection and uncertainty. She's always been the steady heart of Heartland, but lately, it feels like she's standing at a crossroads. The world around her is changing, and even the land she loves so much seems to whisper that it's time for something new. There was a horse that tested her patience and reminded her why she does what she does, not for fame or recognition, but because of that silent bond, that moment when a frightened horse finally begins to trust again. That's Amy's true gift, not fixing what's broken, but helping it find peace. Meanwhile, Lou found herself once again juggling too much. Between the demands of the ranch, her duties as mayor, and her family, she's been stretched thin. In episode 5, we saw her caught between her ambition and her heart. Every decision she makes comes from love, but even love can't solve everything. You could feel the weight she carries, the pressure to be strong, to lead, to hold everything together. But sometimes the strongest thing she can do is admit that she can't do it all alone. Jack, ever the foundation of the family, had his own quiet moments of reflection. There's a scene where he looks out across the ranch, just him, the wind, and the horses in the distance. It's the kind of shot that doesn't need words. It tells a story of time passing, of generations changing, and of a man who has seen it all yet still believes in the good that comes from hard work and honesty. You can almost hear his thoughts, wondering what comes next, and if the family he's built will keep the same values alive when he's gone. The previous episode wasn't about big twists or shocking drama. It was about emotion, about stillness, about those small, quiet victories that make Heartland what it is. It showed us that even in calm moments, there's movement, hearts learning to heal, people learning to grow, and somewhere in all of it, there was a sense that something big is coming. The storylines felt like they were slowly drawing toward a turning point. Amy's path, Lou's choices, Jack's reflections, all of them felt like pieces of a bigger puzzle. A puzzle that might finally come together under the lights, maybe. That's why episode 5 hit so deeply. It wasn't just setting up the next chapter, it was preparing us emotionally for it. The night sky over Hudson has always held secrets, soft, silent, and full of stories waiting to be told. But this week, the stars won't be the only thing shining. The arena lights are coming on, the stands are filling, and the Bartlett Fleming family is stepping into a night that could change everything. Heartland Season 19. Episode 6 Under the Lights feels like it's more than just another event. It's a moment where past and present collide, where quiet lessons meet the roar of a crowd, and where every character must face what truly matters to them. From what's been teased in the CBC promo, this episode centers around an evening event that brings the whole community together. The air buzzes with excitement, horses, families, and familiar faces all gathering under the warm glow of the floodlights. But like every Heartland story, the heart of the episode won't just be in the event, it'll be in what happens behind the smiles. For Amy, the night could become a test of both skill and emotion. She might find herself training a horse that's not just stubborn but scared, a mirror to her own feelings. Working with animals has always been her way of healing, and Under the Lights could remind her that even she still has fears left to face. The episode could bring one of those unforgettable moments where she looks into a horse's eyes and sees a reflection of her own heart. Brave but uncertain, Lou's story may take a different turn. For her, the lights might represent the expectations she's been living under as a mother, as a leader, as someone always trying to do everything right. Maybe this night will show her that being under the lights doesn't mean being perfect. It means being real. Lou might finally find the courage to stop hiding behind control and start trusting that the people around her are ready to help her carry the weight. Then there's Jack. Under those lights, the memories of his younger days might come flooding back, the rodeos, the triumphs, the heartbreaks. Maybe this night isn't just about watching the next generation. Maybe it's about saying goodbye to something quietly, with pride in his heart. A passing of the torch, not in words, but in the silent strength that has always held Heartland together. And we can't forget the younger generation, Katie, Parker, and others finding their footing in a world that feels too big at times. Under the Lights might be their first taste of responsibility, of independence, of realizing that the world doesn't always wait until you're ready. But with family by their side, they'll find their way just like Amy once did. Visually, this episode could be one of the most stunning of the season. Imagine the golden lights bouncing off the horses' coats, the dust rising as they move across the arena, the distant laughter of families gathered to cheer them on. But in between those bright moments, there will be quiet ones too, the ones that Heartland always captures so beautifully. A shared glance, a hand on a horse's mane, a deep breath before a big decision. It's those moments, small, honest, and human, that make Heartland more than just a show about a ranch. It's a story about how even under the brightest lights, we can still feel lost, and how that's okay. Because the people who truly care will always help guide us home. There's a reason Heartland feels different from any other show. It's not just what happens. It's how it looks, how it breathes, and how every frame tells a story even when no one's speaking. And in Under the Lights, the visuals become part of the emotion itself. From the very first shot, light plays a leading role. The episode begins at dusk, when the sky is painted in shades of gold and violet, that magical hour when day turns to night, and everything feels possible. It's not just pretty, it's symbolic. Dusk has always been a time of change, and this episode captures that perfectly. It's the moment between comfort and courage, between what's safe and what's next. As the lights flicker on, the atmosphere changes. The warm tones of the ranch fade into the cool brightness of the arena. Under those lights, the characters seem different, more exposed, more alive. You can almost feel the mix of excitement and nerves in the air. Every sound, the crowd cheering, the horses snorting softly, the faint hum of the night builds tension in a way that only Heartland can deliver. The cinematography in Under the Lights doesn't just show us the story, it feels it. When Amy stands in the middle of the arena, surrounded by light, The camera doesn't just focus on her face, it captures her stillness, her breath, the tiny flicker in her eyes that tells us she's fighting something inside. You can sense the memories she carries, the people she's lost, and the lessons she's learned. The light becomes more than illumination, it's reflection, it's truth. Then there's the way shadows move through this episode. Even when everything is glowing and golden, shadows creep in quietly, like whispers of the past. They remind us that every light creates its own darkness, that healing doesn't mean forgetting. You might see Jack sitting just beyond the spotlight, his face half lit, half hidden. That's not just visual beauty, that's storytelling. It's the quiet strength of a man who's seen joy and sorrow in equal measure, and who knows that both have a place on the ranch. Lou's scenes carry a different light, softer, more fragile. When she stands alone after the event, the glow around her feels gentle, almost uncertain. The light seems to ask her, "What do you really want?" It's as if the episode uses lighting to echo her inner voice, pushing her to see that being under the lights doesn't mean she has to shine perfectly, it just means she has to be herself. Even the horses are framed differently in this episode. Their coats shimmer under the lights, their movements slower, more graceful. It's as if the camera wants us to see them not just as animals, but as symbols of freedom and trust, two things every character in Heartland has been chasing since the very beginning. Visually, Under the Lights feels like a dream, glowing, emotional, yet grounded in real life. The music swells gently in the background, never overpowering the silence, only guiding it. Every shot seems designed to remind us that beauty isn't found in perfection, it's found in the moments between light and dark, in the quiet glances and trembling smiles. Emotionally, this episode feels like the turning point of the season. The light represents hope, but also pressure. It exposes what's been hidden, fears, regrets, desires, and gives the characters no choice but to face them. Yet instead of breaking under it, they grow, they evolve. They remind us that courage doesn't always look like victory. Sometimes, it looks like simply showing up when the world is watching. Before the lights even came on, the fans were already talking. In the days leading up to Heartland Season 19, Episode 6, the online world has been glowing almost as brightly as the arena itself. Comment sections, Reddit threads, and fan pages are filled with questions, theories, and one shared emotion: anticipation. For longtime viewers, Under the Lights isn't just another episode title, it's a promise of change, of growth, of a story that feels like coming home and saying goodbye at the same time. Fans are calling it the emotional centerpiece of the season, the one that might redefine what Heartland truly stands for in its 19th year. One popular theory making the rounds is that this episode will bring Amy face to face with something she's been avoiding, not a person, but a truth. Many believe the horse she's working with in this episode mirrors her own emotions. It's nervous, hesitant, but full of potential. Fans are predicting that through helping the horse overcome fear, Amy might finally step into a new chapter of her own healing. It wouldn't be the first time Heartland used that connection between horse and human to tell a deeper story, and it's exactly what makes Amy's journey so powerful to watch. Others think Lou's storyline might take a surprising turn. Some fans believe this is the moment she begins to let go of control, to admit that she doesn't have to be perfect to be strong. After all, for years she's been trying to balance leadership, motherhood, and her sense of identity. Maybe the lights will finally push her to realize that she can't keep carrying everything alone. And then there's Jack, everyone's anchor. Some fans worry that the symbolism of light and legacy could point toward him stepping back in some way. Not a goodbye, but a quiet passing of wisdom to the next generation. A few even think the arena lights could represent him watching from the sidelines, proud and peaceful, as Amy and Lou lead the way forward. But not every theory is serious. Some fans are just excited to see the ranch come alive again, the horses running, the arena buzzing, the family laughing together under that Alberta night sky. For them, Under the Lights is a reminder of why they fell in love with the show in the first place. It's not about big twists or drama. It's about moments that feel real, about the smell of hay, the sound of hooves, the comfort of belonging somewhere that never forgets you. On social media, fans have shared everything from fan edits set To soft country music to heartfelt posts about how Heartland helped them through hard times. Many say this season feels different, quieter, deeper, more personal. There's a sense that the show isn't just telling stories anymore. It's reflecting back the lives of the people who grew up with it. And maybe that's the real magic of Under the Lights. It's not just a story for the characters, it's a mirror for the fans too. As the lights begin to fade and the night settles over the ranch, we're left with that familiar stillness, the kind only Heartland can create. It's more than a silence. It's a heartbeat, a quiet rhythm that reminds us that every ending on this ranch is just the start of something new. Season 19, Episode 6 Under the Lights isn't just another stop along the way. It's a moment of reflection, a reminder that even after 19 seasons, this world still has stories left to tell. We've watched these characters grow, fall, rebuild, and rediscover themselves. And yet, every time the screen lights up, it feels like we're coming home again. This episode captures everything Heartland has always stood for: resilience, love, and the courage to face life's hardest truths with open arms. The light in this story isn't only the glow of the arena, it's the light inside each character, the one that refuses to go out no matter how dark things get. And that's why fans keep returning, season after season. Because Heartland doesn't just entertain, it heals, it listens, it reflects the quiet strength that lives in all of us. When those arena lights come on, they don't just shine on the characters, they shine on the journey we've taken with them. From Amy's first bond with Spartan to Lou's endless balancing act, from Jack's quiet wisdom to every laugh, tear, and lesson learned on the ranch, each story thread glows like a lantern against the night. And now, as episode 6 approaches, the excitement feels different. It's not just curiosity about what happens next, it's gratitude for how far this family has come. We've seen them weather loss, celebrate love, and face change head-on. Now, Under the Lights feels like a promise that no matter what lies ahead, the heart of Heartland will keep shining. So, when the episode airs, take a moment to really see it. Notice the soft light over the hills, the way the horses move with grace and trust, the way the family gathers, even in their differences, united by something bigger than themselves: love, legacy, and the land that holds them all together. Because Heartland has never been about perfection. It's been about persistence, about showing up even when it's hard, about believing that healing is possible for people, for families, and for every heart that's ever been broken and mended again. If you've grown with this show, if you've felt its comfort, its hope, or its strength, then Under the Lights is for you. It's not just a story about Amy, Lou, or Jack. It's a story about us, about finding light when the world feels dim, about remembering that we can still shine even when we feel small. So get ready, Heartland fans. Episode 6 is coming soon on CBC and CBC Gem, and it's one you won't want to miss. Watch it, feel it, and let it remind you that no matter how many seasons pass, the light of Heartland will always find its way home. And if you love this journey as much as we do, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and share your own thoughts below. What do you think the lights will reveal? Because in the world of Heartland, every voice, every story, and every feeling matters, especially yours.